Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a really great start to your Tuesday morning. And thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. So today's practice is going to be about getting into the legs. And we're going to work the body a little bit. Let me move that camera up a little bit for us. But we're going to work the body so then that way we can really feel what's going on in the legs. From sitting a lot nowadays, working from home, maybe we're not as active as we were last year at this time. So all of that blood just pools in the legs, and so we might get tired legs. We might notice a little bit less energy in the lower part of the body. So we just want to get everything moving a little bit. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and we'll come down onto our knees. I'm going to start on my shins, but if that's not you're not feeling it today, then maybe sit on your booty. You can always put a block in between the ankles and sit on the block as well. So when you're ready, let's go ahead. We'll come down onto our shins. Let's close the eyes. And then just rest the hands gently in the lap. So I'm going to have my left palm on top of my right. I'm going to lift up through my sternum. Pull the shoulder blades together. Grow nice and tall through the neck so you feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Let's seal the lips for a moment here with the eyes closed. Start to turn your focus inward. Come onto your mat. Let go of everything that's happened this morning. Let go of any plans you have for the rest of the day. Keeping the eyes closed, let's bring the hands together now in front of the heart. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths together to begin our practice. Take a big, deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh everything out. And again, bigger inhale. Feel the sides of the body starting to expand, a lift through the heart, maybe a pause at the top of your breath. And then open the mouth, push all of the air out. You might notice a pause at the end of the exhale. And then let's breathe in one more time, bigger inhale, lift through the center of the chest. Find that pause at the top for a moment. Open the mouth, sigh it all out. We'll seal the lips and start to bring now your awareness to your breath, breathing in and out of the nose. Before we open our eyes, let's just establish our intention for our practice this morning. So as you come to your mat, what is something you want to focus on for the day? Do you want to be more patient? Do you need to act maybe with a little bit more kindness today? Or maybe you need to find your confidence and your voice for the day. So just take a moment. Maybe it's a word or a phrase that you resonate with. We'll take a deep breath in, keeping the lips sealed. Breathe all of that air out of the nose. Blink the eyes open. Let's keep a smile on our face throughout our practice. We'll come over onto our hands and knees. So that beginning part of our practice is super important to shift from what we've been doing all morning, what we've been doing for the previous days, to really focus our time on our mat. This time is dedicated for yourself. So don't be thinking about your to-do list. Don't be thinking about what you're cooking for lunch or for dinner later, or any of the errands you need to do. Let's just try and focus on what we're doing just for the next few minutes here, for the next, 25 minutes, not too long, right? So bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. And I want you to ground the palms. So I always talk about finding our foundation first. So I'm spreading the fingers nice and wide here, and I'm gripping my mat with my fingertips. And then that weight is rotating. I'm rotating in between the pointer finger and thumb. So the elbow creases will face one another instead of facing forward. So you can kind of play with that a little bit. And then let's go ahead and tuck the toes just a little bit. Hover the knees just a little bit off of the mat. Take a deep breath in, press the booty back. And then as you exhale, let's go ahead and lift the sit bones and come into our downward facing dog. You can keep a little bend in the knees to lift your booty up a little bit higher. You can pedal out the feet. Do whatever feels good here. And then let's take a breath here in stillness. Feel the heart pressing closer to the front of the thighs, the heels softening to the floor. Keep gripping the mat with the fingertips. And let's take a breath here. Let's come up high up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, and you're going to walk or step or hop to the front of the mat. So right behind the hands. Inhale, let's bring the hands to the shins. If you have blocks, you can always use blocks. Find your flat back. Roll the weight into the toes. Tuck the chin so the back of the neck is long. And then the next exhale, let's forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, find your flat back. Reach the heart forward. Exhale to fold forward back over the thighs. Little bend in your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift through the sternum, feel the palms touch overhead. Exhale, pull the hands to the heart. Eyes are closed. Remember your intention. Blink the eyes open. Inhale to sweep those arms up. Maybe the palms are going to touch overhead. As you exhale, I want you to lead with the heart, hinging at the hips, over the thighs. Release the hands. Inhale to find your flat back. Roll the weight into the toes. Back of the neck is long. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way back up. Let's just get the spine moving, get the legs working. Exhale to bring the hands down to the heart, and we're folding all the way down. Inhale, find that flat back. Reach the heart forward. Exhale, this time we're going to plant the palms, bend the knees, step back, find your push-up position. Ground the palms into the floor. On your next inhale, let's rock the shoulders past the wrists. You're going to hug the elbows as you lower all the way down. And see if you can get the chest and the hips to touch at the same time. Untuck the toes. Keep the hands right next to the chest, and you're going to hug the elbows in. Gaze is down, and then you're going to lift through the back of the head for a baby cobra. As you do this, I want you to feel the legs engage. Press into the tops of the feet and reach the toes back. Feel the shoulders pulling away from the ears. Lift the heart up towards the chin. Take another breath. And let's go ahead and release all the way. Tuck the toes. With or without the knees, we're going to come back into downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Inhale to come up high onto the tippy toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your flat back. Maybe fingertips stay on the floor this time, but reach the heart forward. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch overhead. Exhale to bring the hands down to the heart. Close your eyes here. See if you can feel the feet grounding into the floor. Lift the heart towards the thumbs. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. On the next inhale, we're lifting the arms up. Exhale, lead with the heart, hinging at the hips, fold all the way forward. Inhale, find the flat back. Exhale, you're going to bend forward, bend the knees, step that left foot back to the ball of the foot. You can keep the knee lifted or you can lower the knee down depending on what's feeling good for the leg. I'm going to keep my leg lifted and engaged. Ground the left palm into the floor. Inhale to spiral that right hand up. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Maybe open up through that right shoulder just a little bit more. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale to unwind. I want you to come up onto the fingertips. Reach the heart forward. We're going to spiral that left heel down so that the front heel will intersect with the back arch. On the next inhale, windmill up, find warrior two. Sink down into the front knee. Scoot that right foot forward a little bit if you need to, so you can sink down a little bit further into the front knee. Open up through the heart. And then the gaze now is over that front middle finger. So I want you to sink down to this front knee. Try and parallel the front thigh to the floor. And this is where you're going to get a lot of engagement in that front thigh. And then at the same time, I want you to feel the outer edge of this back leg glued to the mat. So feel the outer edge of the left pinky side toe rooting into the floor. And then arms are straight, trying to touch opposite walls. Gaze back over that front middle finger. Take a deep breath here. And then settle a little bit more. Keep the legs how they are. So that right leg should be firing pretty well right now. Flip the right palm over. Let's reverse our warrior. Inhale. Look up into that right palm. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale to come back into your warrior two. Hands are going to come to the hips. Straighten through that front leg. I want you to press into the ball of the right foot. Make sure we're not hyperextending the knee. So if you tend to hyperextend, you put a little bend in that knee. Arms come back out to a T. Inhale to reach forward. The exhale is going to bring the hand down to your shin or a block if you have it inside or outside of the foot. And then that left hand can go straight up or it can come right to your hip. So your choice here on what feels good. Be mindful of the knee. Keep pressing the big toe mound of that front foot into the floor. And then reach that left arm up a little bit higher so you get space through the left side of the torso. Deep, full breath here. Left hand is going to come to the hip. Put a little bend back in that knee. Rise up, straight legs. We're going to parallel the feet towards the short edges of the mat. Inhale to lift up through the heart. And then exhale, we're hinging at the hips. Just come down halfway. So if that's a little bit too much for you right now, or the low back is talking to you, let's go ahead and bring blocks underneath the shoulders. That's pretty helpful. Or if you don't have blocks, you can bring the hands down. So just for a moment here, my hands are going to stay at the hips. I'm keeping my ears in line with the shoulders, and I'm reaching forward, rolling the weight into my toes. So take another breath here. You should be feeling this on the outer sides of your thighs, maybe in the core, and you're supporting your low back. Take another big, deep breath. Reach maybe the heart a little bit further forward. And then exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. So if you want, you can widen the feet out a little bit more and get a little bit more length through the legs. Right hand is going to come right underneath the face. Inhale to spiral that left hand up. So I want you to feel the outer edges of the feet still pressing into the floor. Take another big full breath here. Use your inhale to unwind. Left hand now comes right underneath the face. Spiral the right hand up. Notice any differences in the sides of the body. Keep pressing through the outer edges of the feet and take another full breath. Inhale to unwind. We're going to walk now to the back of the mat and come onto the ball of the right foot. Sink down into that left knee. Reach the heart forward. Deep full breath. Keep that right leg firm, reaching through the right heel. Plant the right palm. Inhale to spiral the left hand up. Keep that right leg nice and firm. Keep reaching the left fingertips up. Take another full breath. Inhale to unwind. Plant the left foot down, or the right foot down so that the left heel will intersect with that right foot. Use your next inhale to windmill up and find warrior two. Reach through the fingertips, sink down into that front knee, open up through the heart. You're going to scoop the left sit bone right underneath the hip and then point that left knee towards the middle toe. Sink down into the front foot. And again, if you want, you can inch that front foot forward and then sink down a little bit deeper to try and parallel the front thigh to the earth. Gaze right over that front middle finger. Open up through the heart. Take another full breath. Keep the legs exactly how they are. Right hand comes down the back of the right thigh. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Open up through the front side of the body. Soften through the left shoulder. Keep sinking down into the legs. Take another full breath here. Gonna inhale, come back into warrior two. Straighten through the legs. As you inhale, let's rock forward. Exhale to bring the hand down to your shin. You can use that block. Right hand can be at the hip or extended straight up to the ceiling. So again, be mindful of the left knee now. If you tend to hyperextend, put a little bend in that left knee, and you're driving the big toe mound of the left foot down into the floor. Gaze up towards that left or towards that right thumb, and then take a breath here. Feel both feet evenly pressing into the floor. A little bit of space through the torso and that right hip. You're gonna bend back into that front knee. Inhale to come back up. Parallel the feet to the short edges of the mat once again. Inhale to lift up through the heart. And then exhale, let's hinge forward. Bring the hands down to the floor. You're gonna reach the heart forward. Don't look up so we're not putting any pressure on the throat or the back of the neck. So keep the back of the neck long. Take another breath to rock the weight into the toes. And then as we exhale, we're gonna hinge forward. You can bring the hands in line with the feet. You can grab the ankles. You can bring the hands behind you. If your head is almost touching the floor, you can always bring a block too, and that's gonna help give you a little bit more support if it's almost touching. So you can widen the feet a little bit. Have the hands somewhere that feel comfortable for leverage. And then feel the outer edges of the thighs opening, the weight in the outer edges of the feet. Take another full breath here. And then we're going to bring the hands right in line with the shoulders. Bring the heels in so that the toes point out. We're going to sink down and come up into a low squat here. So with the knees pointing out towards the pinky side toe, sink down as low as you can. I know it's probably firing those inner thighs, but we really want to wake up the quads. This is getting the blood flow back through the hips. So sink as low as you can. Again, knees pointing towards the pinky side toe. And then hands are going to come to the thighs, and I want the fingers pointed inward towards the inner thigh. Lift up through the heart. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to dip the right shoulder towards the left knee. Maybe gaze at that left knee. Inhale to come back up to center. And let's do the other side. Exhale, left shoulder towards the right knee. Inhale, come back to center. Make sure you're keeping your squat sit a little bit lower. Exhale, right shoulder, left knee. One more time. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left shoulder to the right knee. We'll inhale to come back to center. We're only here for a little bit longer. Find those cactus arms. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Take a deep, full breath in and a full breath out to sink a little bit lower. Hands are going to come to the hips. Inhale to straighten the legs. You can shake the booty from side to side. You're going to pivot now and step forward to the top of the mat. Come into your mountain pose. So just notice how the inner and outer thighs are feeling. Notice that strength that you have started to build in the legs. And finding a strong foundation to start your day by grounding the feet into the floor. Take another full breath here, opening up through the heart. And then let's blink the eyes open. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, lead with the heart, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back, reach the heart forward. Exhale to forward fold. You're gonna bend the knees, plant your palms, left foot steps back. Ground the left palm into the floor. Use your next inhale to spiral the right hand up. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Deep, full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to unwind. Exhale to spiral that left heel down to the floor. Use your next inhale to windmill up and find warrior two. Sink down into your front knee. Fingertips reach away from one another. Deep, full breath in and a full breath out. Sink a little bit deeper. Flip the right palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Left hand comes down the back of the left thigh. Soften through your right shoulder. Gaze into the right palm. Sink down a little bit deeper into the knee. Full breath here. Inhale to come back into warrior two and straighten through the front leg. Ground the ball of the right foot into the floor. Slight bend in that right knee. Next inhale, hinge forward at the hips. Exhale, right hand down to the shin, the floor, or a block. Left hand to the ceiling or at the hip. Keep driving the right ball of the foot into the floor. Open up through the left side of the shoulder. Full breath here. To release the left hand down to the floor. Bend into that right knee. Start to walk into center. Parallel the sides of the feet to the short edge of the mat. Right hand comes down in front of the face. Inhale to spiral the left hand up. Deep, full breath here. Inhale to unwind. Left hand comes down. Spiral the right hand up. Use your next inhale. Right hand comes down. Start to walk now to the back of the mat. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Ground the right hand into the floor. Inhale to spiral the left hand up to the ceiling. Keep reaching through that right heel. Full breath. Inhale to unwind. Exhale, right heel spirals down to the floor. Sink into the front knee. Use your next inhale to windmill up and find warrior two. Outer edge of that back foot is sealed to the floor. Sink down into the front knee. Gaze over the front middle finger. Full deep breath here. Keep the legs exactly how they are. Flip the left palm. Use your next inhale to reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down the back of the right thigh. Soften through the left shoulder. Gaze into the palm. Keep the legs how they are. Inhale to come back into your warrior two. Straighten through the left leg. Keep a little bend in that left knee. Inhale to hinge forward. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to your shin, the floor, or a block. Right hand comes straight up to the ceiling, or it can be placed at your hip. Reach the right fingertips up. Open up through that right side of the shoulder. Keep pressing both feet into the floor evenly. Deep, full breath here. Inhale to unwind. That right hand is going to come down. Bend back into that front knee. Let's start to walk back into center. Bring the heels in, point the toes out. Drop the sit bones. Bring the hands to the hips. Open up through the heart. Soften the shoulders. Feel the knees point towards the pinky edge of the toe. And then we're opening the arms out to cactus pose. If that doesn't feel good, you can keep the hands at the thighs like we did earlier, but I want you to sink down into the hips, drive the sit bones down, knees point out towards the pinky toe. Lift up through the heart. Find that cactus shape if you can with the arms. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Let's sink a little bit deeper. Big, deep breath in. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. One more breath. And a full breath out. Hands come to the hips. Straighten through the legs. Whew, that feels good in those thighs. You're going to spin to the top of the mat. So come to the ball of the left foot, step forward, find mountain pose. Hands are right alongside the body. I want you to drive both feet into the floor. Lift up through the sternum. Feel the ears in line with the shoulders and the shoulders over the ankles. Deep, full breath here. Bring the big toes to touch. I want you to inhale to lift the arms up, drop the sit bones, find a chair pose. Reach the booty back, lift the heart up into the hands. Deep, full breath in. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, find your flat back, reach the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, and you're gonna come onto your tippy toes. So kind of a balancing pose here. So if you can, if you have a little bit of trouble balancing, then this is where blocks would come in handy, right? So we just place them right next to our hip points and have the fingertips be able to touch. If you have the balance today in the toes and the balls of the feet, I want you to lift the knees high, maybe bring the arms out to that cactus shape. Keep lifting up through the heart. Take another big breath in and a big breath out. Very gently, you're going to bring the hands down to the floor or to those blocks. Sit all the way back onto your booty. Extend the legs out straight. I want you to flex through the feet, lift up through the heart. Feel the sit bones driving down to the floor so you have this L shape with the body. As the sternum lifts up towards the chin, take a deep breath in. So if the hands are right by the hips, we're in staff pose here. You'll pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Heart lifts towards the chin. Deep breath in. And then now as you exhale, it's forward fold. Bring the belly button towards the spine. You can grab onto the ankles. You can grab onto the feet. Reach the heart forward. Take a full breath here. Take one more breath, maybe reaching the heart closer to the toes. And then let's tuck the chin. Inhale to rise all the way up. Just go ahead and face me here. Hopefully the lighting is okay for you. Looks like the computer keeps wanting to dim us a little bit. So I am just in a comfortable seated position. I am going to come into a fire log pose. So the right ankle is going to be on top of the left knee, and that right ankle on top of the left knee and right knee on top of the left ankle. So you might notice this right knee wants to lift up. See if you can manually try and get it as close to that left foot as possible. Hands can be resting on the thighs or right next to the hip points. So close the eyes here. Just take another breath in and another breath out. Keep the position of the legs. So even if you're in a cross-legged position, or you're in fire log pose, keep this position. Take a big inhale to lift up through the heart. And we're going to exhale towards the right knee. Bring the left hand on top of the thigh. Gaze over the back shoulder. Take a full cycle of breath. And we'll inhale to unwind. Switch the legs. So right leg comes on bottom, or whichever one was on top is on bottom. Flex the feet if you're in fire log pose. Make sure that the ankle is over the left ankle is over the right knee, and the left knee is over the right ankle. Both feet are flexed to protect the knees, and then hands can come right alongside the body. Lift up through the heart. And then we'll take a big, deep breath in. Exhale to twist now to that left knee, right hand on top of the thigh, gaze over the back shoulder. Full breath. Use your inhale to unwind. Find your comfortable seated position. Rock from side to side. Close the eyes Bring the hands together in front of the heart. I want you to bow the chin towards the chest. And before we close our practice today, take a deep breath in, honoring the intention that you created for your practice and for your day. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths to end our practice and start our day. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And again, inhale through the nose. Big sigh out of the mouth. And a final time, bigger inhale and a bigger exhale. Put a smile on your face, lift the chin, blink the eyes open. Namaste. Well, guys, I hope that you had a great practice. And if you end up watching this a little bit later, hopefully that the lighting isn't too dark for you. I do appreciate the time that you have given and gifted to yourself and the time that you have spent with me. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at getyourintent@gmail.com. And I hope to see you on the mat on Thursday at 8 a.m. Thanks again for your time. Have a really great week.